we've been talking for like 20 minutes.
Yep.
Should we intro this thing?
Yeah, probably. Hello. This is the Randomly Appropriated Podcast. I am Dan.
Hi, I'm Brando.
And I'm Lucas.
That's us. We don't know what we're doing,
and
enjoy.
This is definitely not the second attempt.
It's definitely not.
We totally didn't talk for 30 minutes and then look over at the computer to see that wasn't recording.
Yeah, that would be my bad. Whoops. And it's still going. Don't worry.
And it did it again. Oh, man.
I went to a friend's house the other day, and she has a cat who just basically tries to give you a hickey. Yeah.
It's fun.
Cats are just fucking weird like that.
They are. They are very strange creatures.
Like, I don't know if it's because I think they were like born a little prematurely. So
cats in general, or just these cats?
These cats.
It feels so low.
But
It feels so tall.
here we go. I feel like she was trying to like get milk or something because the mom's not there.
Oh.
But like,
I'll give you milk.
What kind of milk?
well, yeah, what kind of milk?
Did you know that men can actually technically lactate?
So says Ben Stiller from Meet the Parents.
Huh.
I don't know, actually.
I think that's from that movie.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie all the way through.
It's not a very good movie.
Is any Ben Stiller movie
I mean,
good?
I mean,
Except for
comedies,
Tropic Thunder.
specifically comedies from the 2000s, they're hit or miss for me, and whenever they miss, they really miss.
I feel like there have been a lot more misses recently than like good hits. Like, what's the last good comedy movie that you could think of?
I would have to think.
So the first one that popped into my head was Vacation Friends that came out I think it was 22 or 21? And it had John Cena in it. And it was absolutely hysterical.
John Cena's one of those people where if he's in a movie, I won't watch it. But same with like The Rock.
His comedic
And,
chops are really good.
He does have some good comedic chops, like the timing and the way that he talks, like completely deadpan serious about something ridiculous. He can absolutely pull that off.
I mean, I'm not even saying like, so it's less John Cena and more like people like The Rock and like Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Well, I know people who love like
I'm super Kevin Hart
anti
Kevin Hart.
I hate Kevin Hart.
See, I don't find him. I don't find him.
I don't
funny
think
at
his
all.
stand-up's good. I don't think he's good.
Yeah,
I think his stand-up's pretty good. Is it the best? No, I don't think so.
Damn, my mom says I'm not allowed to talk to you anymore.
Oh,
Okay.
that's fair.
it's just like
That's really good.
And action.
Yeah.
So I totally understand like where you're coming from, where it's a lot of like, I don't know. I honestly haven't even seen anything recently of him, to be fair.
Me neither, because I don't actively try to watch his stuff.
Yeah, but he's definitely got that like beyond over the top with a lot of his jokes and just his stage performances.
It's like, okay, come on, we don't need to do this anymore.
Like Jumanji, the first video game Jumanji. That one I thought was pretty decent, but like his character it's just him. It's just him playing him.
That's all Kevin Hart movies, though.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. Is like it's just him acting as like Kevin Hart would, how he thinks himself would act in a certain situation.
I feel the same way about Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
he just plays like the same kind of person.
he does have some good ones, but yeah, he has the Will Ferrell like role.
Yeah, and like again, same thing with The Rock. I feel like he plays the same kind of person every single movie.
Yeah, like he'll even change the character to,
and he's still the same Rock. The Rock.
Like, yeah.
In the same, so Jumanji, it's got Jack Black as well, and I think he does an amazing job because he plays a teenage girl, and he does it perfectly.
Go from the conversation we were having to where these two people who were just like the same person every time to Jack Black to where like literally every time he's just, I feel like he's brings something new to it every time. He's like, oh, he's clearly being Jack Black about it.
Yeah.
But he's also being like unique about it in a Jack Black way.
Right. He has his characteristics of like himself, but then he goes into the character. So it's still kind of like he's still kind of playing Jack Black, but he's not just himself. He's like kind of himself, but he's also the character.
Well, yeah, I feel like that's what actors should do.
Right.
I mean,
and to an extent, even
like
I would argue that comedians like that, they bring a certain perspective and they can make a movie funnier. But if you're just like, oh, I'm Kevin Hart and I'm in this movie and it's me, I'm Kevin Hart.
I mean, and there's certain people who get comfortable with that and they prefer that, and there's nothing really wrong with it.
No, I can understand.
It's just not me. Like, I don't personally like seeing the same actor playing the same role for the most part every single movie that they're in.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people like it.
Why? Vin Diesel has mastered it.
Vin Diesel is definitely
family.
You know, I think I've seen like 2 of those movies, and
I have seen all of them because they're so stupid. I love them.
I've seen, I think, the original, the second one, which is garbage, and then
you're not wrong.
Which one was the Paul Walker's last one? Was that
7?
7, yeah.
Just the more it goes, like the more it's like, this makes no fucking sense. But now there's zombie cars. But you know what?
We're going with it.
It's awesome.
See, like, and that's another thing. It's just like, I kind of want to watch them just because, like, I know how dumb they are. And it's just like, let's just see how insane this goes. But I can't bring myself to actually go to the theater and, like,
oh, no, they're not. I wouldn't say they're theater movies. They're more like you sit on a couch with a bunch of buddies and you get drunk and you watch them.
And you laugh at how ridiculous they are.
You laugh at every stupid thing that is brought up because, like, and most people I've talked to about this, they're like, why do you like those movies? They're so dumb. That's what makes them so great, is you have to turn something off in your brain and go, this is a dumb movie. And that's why this is awesome.
Yeah. See, I'm one of those people that I don't particularly enjoy those kinds of movies where you just like turn off your brain. But I can understand if it's something. Honestly, it's mostly if it's something that I don't understand. Like, I know cars too well. I know planes too well. So anything that involves a car or a plane just being ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, that's... Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite part about it is like, oh, he should be dead right now. But he's not.
How many times?
My favorite one. So I think one of the ones that I watched was one with like a 20-minute scene in a cargo plane that's taking off. And
I think that's 6.
Yeah, and it I'm not even kidding. It's like a 20-minute scene where they're all fighting throughout this cargo plane to stop it. Whereas taking off a plane takes maybe a minute for something. Yeah,
they're on the world's longest run ride, Dan.
Yeah.
The world's longest that lasts for 20 fucking minutes.
It's so ridiculous.
It's so good though.
I've even seen I've landed on some of the world's longest runways, and it's still like, man.
How did this car chase go on for 20 minutes?
Jeez. this is the slowest plane ever.
God, can you tell the captain to hurry up, or I want some complimentary peanuts?
Give me some peanuts for the takeoff, at least. Come on.
Give me some peanuts. I mean peanuts.
Oh.
No, that was a slip of the tongue.
Sure.
Yeah. But see, those movies are just like, then people will just say like, oh, turn your brain off. That's the only way to enjoy it. And I guess they have a point.
I mean, that's what movies are made for, really. I mean,
realistically, yeah.
These days, at least.
Yeah.
Sure, there's the ones where just like, they're thought-provoking.
I kind of enjoy some of those. Because it kind of makes you go like, was that really like, was that the best thing? Was that maybe the best?
See, yeah.
Or not like best movie or anything, but like the actions that they do, is that maybe for the better, or is that maybe not such a good idea?
Yeah. I definitely used to be more of like a movie person than I am now, but like that's like all I would watch. I'd kind of cut myself out of just like what I would say are like dumb movies, like like the Fast and Furious, like the Marvel movies or whatever. But like now it's just like kind of more open. But yeah, I used to just watch nothing but like indies and what you would call like thought-provoking movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Thought-provoking.
It's hard for me to watch Marvel movies sometimes, because to me those are the just turn your brain off and enjoy it.
I mean, yeah,
kind of movies.
And now they're so long, and I'm just so lost.
Yeah. As a big supporter of the MCU, I've officially like stopped trying to keep up with them. I don't actively go to the movie theaters like Ant-Man and the Wasp just came out and you're gonna see it opening night.
Yeah.
It's more like I'll catch it when it comes to
and I'm
Disney
saying like
Plus.
more and more people just fall out of it too. Like I know that like the newest Ant-Man, like a lot of people didn't like that. I know the newest Thor, a lot of people didn't like that.
I've heard very mixed things with the Love and Thunder Thor.
Yeah.
I'm not hot for it. Like I think it's garbage.
Yeah, the few things
I have a buddy who's like, it's the best movie ever. Like, you're weird.
Yeah. I mean, I am excited for the newest Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's just because it's sci-fi and I like sci-fi stuff. So
I mean, I hear you. It's just like, it's a weirder Star Wars.
Yeah. With a Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
But I mean, to go back to where we were talking before, the Guardians movies were definitely like kind of the one, I don't know what you want to call it.
I would say that they were
the one side of MCU where it's like, okay, these are fun. And these are...
They came out of nowhere because it's a comic book that no one really gave two shits about. And then I remembered when the trailer dropped, I was like, I think I was a junior in high school, and I was sitting on the bus going to Votech, and I had enough cell data to watch the trailer, and I was just like, what is this? This is mind-blowing. Like, and I was sold. Like, I was...
Like, I think if I remember correctly, whenever they first announced it, everyone was kind of like, why is there a Guardians of the Galaxy? Like, why are they making a movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy? Okay.
Yeah.
And next they're going to make a Howard the Duck movie. Again.
And they made it with one of my favorite actors, Chris P. Rat.
He was so good in Parks and Rec.
He was. It's hard to say, like... Those were like his glory days.
Oh, they really were. Like,
I mean, in some ways, yeah. But
he's just overexposed these days. But back then, he was like, that's where you could only view him, and he was just anytime he opened his mouth, it was just spit gold.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I would say from. Like, I love them in Parks and Rec, too. I would say I like him from that all the way to probably Guardians 2, and then now I just kind of don't really care.
Yeah, that's... I feel that. He definitely, I don't know, dropped off, or... I wouldn't say that he dropped off, but he got bigger and bigger roles, and just kind of... I think he probably just lost that, like, comedic input to be able to put in, like,
he became the leading man instead of
instead of
the funny guy.
The funny guy off to the side, yeah.
Like, and I think he works well as that. I don't think he works as, like, the lead man in like an action movie.
I think he does. I still think that he does because he definitely has his moments.
It depends on the action movie.
See, that's something. It's like in Guardians, like it works because like there's still a ton of like comedic opportunities for him and stuff. But like, what's the name of that one movie where they're in space? It's him and Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh,
Passengers.
That like, I've
not seen it.
I think that he did a really good job in that. Actually, I think that it gave him. It wasn't a comedy or anything. No. I think that showed that he had like a dramatic side to him.
Or I will bring up the Jurassic World movies.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. Like, what? You don't call Jurassic World dramatic? Acting against a tennis ball. That was dramatic.
No, that was.
Granted, I just don't like those movies in general. So of course it's gonna give me like a bad thing from Chris Pratt, but like I don't like him in that movie.
The first World is decent,
right?
And then after that, it's like what is?
I think that his character sucks in those movies.
Yeah,
came in a sock and was like, "There it is. That's the movie."
Yep.
Maybe they just like told him just like, "Well, you're this," and like they didn't really give him a lot of room to like breathe or whatever. But I don't like him at all.
Hey, do you know what movies. You played in Guardians of the Galaxy? What? Yeah, like Han Solo, but in space. Even though Han Solo's in space. Yeah, do that again.
Yeah,
but this time you're in charge of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then the next time you play in a movie, you're Han Solo again.
Just keep that Han Solo going.
And now he's going to be Mario in the new Mario movie.
Yeah.
Actually, me and a friend of mine, we had this long conversation about Mario. And I don't hate him as Mario. Actually, I know because I've talked to you guys about this. I was a big naysayer about the casting of Chris Pratt and Mario at first. And then the first trailer, right at the end, when he's in the cart and he does the waha, I was like, all right, I'm sold. That's it. That's right there.
I still don't like the casting, but I will say that I don't think the movie looks that bad.
I'll probably see
like it looks like great, like visually. Granted, like it's like a multi-billion-dollar animation company, but like,
and with the support and backing of Nintendo, I mean,
that's gonna be pretty.
And like, my favorite part about it is when Nintendo did the direct that announced the cast. They're like, we wanted someone. We cast. What did they say? We cast Chris Pratt because he's just so cool. And I was like, that should not be the reason you cast Mario. But okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
I mean, I'll give it a chance. Like, I'll probably watch it. And honestly, a part of it is just a novelty of like a Mario movie. Like,
yeah, like I feel I have hopes for it. Do you remember the
93?
No, not 93. The Detective Pikachu.
Oh, yeah.
That ended up being a really good movie.
See, I never watched it.
I have hopes for it.
Yeah, it actually is genuinely.
Was it?
Yeah.
I heard that some people liked it.
Ryan Reynolds had a large part to do with that when he's basically just a cuddlier Deadpool in that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. I didn't hate it by any stretch of the imagination. Seeing Mewtwo on screen for the brought to life was cool.
That was, yeah. Yeah, that was a very good, entertaining movie.
See, that came out in what, 2018?
It's pre-pandemic, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was also during my phase where I was just like,
ew, it's popular.
It's big budget. No. Yeah. I mean, that's, yeah. But no, like, I feel like now, like, maybe I'll just be like, fucking, like,
yeah.
Again, kind of just like the novelty is just like, it's a Pokemon movie.
So, have you seen I Am Mother?
No, but my sister has told me things about that.
That sounds familiar. What is it?
Isn't it like a robot thing?
So, it's on Netflix. It's definitely one of my favorite, like, deep thinking movies.
Is that the one with Hilary Swank in it? I think her name is.
I don't.
Former Karate Kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm terrible with actors.
Oh, okay.
But it's the one with the like robotic mother.
Okay, I think we're thinking of the same thing.
It was Netflix exclusive.
No, yeah, I watched a trailer of it a while ago, and it looked interesting. I just never got around
I've
to it.
definitely heard of it. My sister's like, you need to watch it, bro. I was like, okay. I'm going to proceed to play the same game I played 4 times.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'll be real. I haven't watched anything on Netflix in probably a year at this point.
Fair enough.
We've been watching Wednesday.
Wednesday's very good.
Agreed.
And it's got some twists and turns. How far are you in it?
The first episode.
Okay. Yeah, you've got a lot ahead of you.
Well, we just came off of WrestleMania weekend, and we just finished up a series before that, so we've been busy with other things. We were going to watch tonight, but...
Hey, we're doing a podcast.
A podcast that we're not doing a video for, so I feel the need to point out, Lucas is wearing a Stitch onesie.
Yeah. Kind of forgot about that, actually.
How do you forget about the floppy ears?
I keep staring at them, and they remind me of, like, what's the thing from Star Wars? The
Twi'lek things?
No, not the Twi'lek things. The ice monster.
Oh, the thing that like kidnaps Luke?
Yeah.
Is it called a Wampa?
Yes, the Wampa. Kind of reminds me of the Wampas, how they have the like
I could see
goat
that.
tusks on the side.
Like
don't those curl down and then like curl back up? Or
it's like a ram horn on the side of its head. Yeah, just like that. He's drawing circles by his head.
I don't know. Speaking of Star Wars, like, I don't know if you guys play video games. I know we do. I don't know why I asked that.
I don't know.
I don't. Dan's PC setup is behind us.
That one. Which the audio is still going, by the way. I would like to point that out.
Yeah, we figured shit out this time.
Just give it.
And by we, I mean Dan. Give it up for Dan. Anyways, they did a preview for Jedi Survivor, which looks fantastic. I don't know if you guys played Fallen Order.
See, I think
didn't play Fallen Order.
I think didn't Fallen Order just recently get added to the Game Pass?
Yeah, Dan, get on it.
Yeah,
not recently. It's been on Game Pass for a minute.
Oh,
yeah,
it
has.
Oh, okay.
And also, I've noticed there's a PS4 just chilling down there. Like,
oh yeah.
Oh man, I haven't seen a PS4 in like.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I haven't seen a PS4 in like an hour.
Yeah.
Because
Hey, there's one.
Just get a PS5. They're on the shelf.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go get a PS5 that I can't afford.
Well, I'm saying whenever you can.
With my non-existent job to predate this. Anyways, hi, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
How you doing? But no, I think that's a game where I will get to sooner or later.
Well, like when it first came out back in 2019, I tried to play it, and then things were happening in my life that just like I got caught up in, so I couldn't play it, and I'm just now circling back around to it, and it's great and it's not great.
I mean, like from what I've seen, it looks really fun and it looks really good. Like, granted, I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan, and like the newer Battlefront games, I do not like at all. So
for a while, I was don't buy AAA games, like don't pre-order them, don't buy them.
Because I'm a PC player and I have access to the Steam store and I don't shower and
wow. All right. So yeah.
What a great first episode.
So I had an Xbox One. Thank you very much. And the PC at the same time. All right.
Wow.
So I was for the longest
stands for pretentious.
Pretentious cock.
I was gonna say cunt, but yes.
Oh well, I mean, yeah. There's that. Hey, don't worry. Lucas joined the master race.
Oh, really? I mean, it's a gaming laptop, and it's a good one, but still for my Xbox.
So you play games on your PC?
I mean, yeah, but I'm not gonna be like PC master race, console pleb. Like, I'm not gonna be like that.
I play video games like an adult on my couch with a controller in my hand.
I play video games like an even bigger adult.
Are we gonna start this?
Something went over my head. Okay, so set the scene. Battlefront was one of my favorite games as a child.
I mean,
yeah.
So I played hours
so good.
and hours and hours of Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2 on the PS2. I even later in life went back and played them again because they're fun.
I still have them.
So for a very long time, they were announcing, oh, hey, we have a new Battlefront coming out. So I was sitting there and I was watching the trailers and I was like, okay, this seems pretty cool. If it's anything like the original Battlefronts, it's going to be pretty awesome and I'm going to want to play it.
Spoiler alert. It was not.
That one. So I go in and I'm like, all right, I'm looking at the trailer. I'm looking and I'm finally just like, okay, I'm just going to go pre-order it and I'm going to buy it. And I'm just going to be happy. I went in, I pre-ordered it. I got the poster. It was awesome. The poster is still awesome.
I have the same poster.
However, the game was not great. I tried to play it the first night that I got it, and I went home and was like, well, I'm going to try playing single player because, you know, the online stuff, that's going to be all full of everybody.
Yeah.
Only to find out that there is no single player. There is no single player.
Don't you love that? It's like the twist of the knife.
Right.
I mean...
Okay. It did the thing. I caught it, though. Last time, it recorded 30 seconds of audio that we talked for about 30 minutes. So...
And it was a great conversation.
That information is lost to history. But now this information is still being recorded, and we're still good. So, I got home and tried to play Battlefront. I was expecting single player. I was hoping for something like Galactic Conquest or something cool like that.
You got your hopes up.
I did. And only to realize it was basically multiplayer only. And the multiplayer was kind of garbage.
See, that's when EA was going through all their terrible times. They're a little better nowadays. Like,
I mean, are they?
They're not Ubisoft these days. Like, Ubisoft is doing some bad shit. But, you know. But I hear you, because I bought the PlayStation 4 for the same reason. Like...
I hope that comes in.
Why'd they stop?
I was like, is he going to try to hold it in?
No.
Nope.
I tried to silence it. And I downloaded it, got that cool poster, like, and everything, and then played it. I was like, man. Like most things Star Wars, I was in denial. I was like, this is great, right? And then because I pre-ordered it, I got like this bundle of 5 games of older Star Wars games. And instead, I just ended up playing Republic Commando for like the whole time. I was like, man, this is so much better. This game from 2005.
So I will say, eventually, the Battlefront 2 was free to play somewhere. I don't remember where I played it, but it was free to play somewhere, and I played the single player campaign. That was pretty good. I would say that. Did it? Either of you guys play it?
No, but I did hear that they like kind of went back and like kind of made it so it wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
Like they kind of fixed their mess a little bit.
I have played it, and it's really good. It's an actual story mode, and it's pretty good. It's what you expect from a Battlefront game, a little hand-holdy, but, you know, it's not bad.
I don't even know. So, I think that overall it was overall, I think it was pretty good, but I think that the Emperor having satellites that control the weather,
Oh yeah,
that was probably one of the dumbest things that
Project Cinder.
anybody could come up with.
They're still building upon that in recent Star Wars. Like they touched upon it in Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah, no, I hear. Hey, most things in Star Wars aren't great.
You know, that's fair.
Somehow, Palpatine returned.
Oh man.
Somehow.
Space ghosts force something? I don't know. Wow. That was awful. Basically, Rian Johnson killed the main villain for the trilogy and they didn't know what to do.
No, the main villain was Kylo Ren. It's just people negatively react to Rian Johnson so bad. They're like, we can't do anything original anymore. We have to backtrack and reverse and throw in reverse Terry and all this stupid shit. And
so instead, we're going to have a space battle with horses, with space horses. That was
laser zers.
Yep.
It's okay.
And fire the ion cannons, even though their shields are down.
Dave Filoni's now doing the thing that Dave Filoni does best, and he's adding context to everything like he did with the Clone Wars to the prequels in The Mandalorian. So by the time The Mandalorian's over, I'm not saying that we're going to love it, but the sequels are going to make sense.
Yeah.
I
disagree.
Sorta.
Sort. We're going to understand when they say Palpatine returned somehow. We're going to understand what that means. Hopefully.
Maybe.
I mean, probably not.
Honestly, I understand it. They killed the bad guy halfway through the trilogy. What do you want?
Someone to save my favorite shows.
So, I mean, Jared, to this day, says that Episode 8 was a good Star Wars movie. I disagree. I think it was a terrible Star Wars movie. I think it was a half-decent movie.
I think it was a great plot to Battlestar Galactica in the early 2000s.
Yes, that's actually...
Yeah.
Wow, now that you talk about it.
The whole sequence where they're getting tracked through hyperspace happened literally the decade before.
That's the first episode too. Wow.
I've never watched it, but I have a friend who's like, that's just Battlestar Galactica. I was like, I'm going to take your word for it.
So I've seen like 3 episodes of it, and it's basically, they're getting trapped. They're getting tracked through hyperspace. And and now we do a chase scene. That was so stupid. Oh man, that was dumb. Oh boy. Now, man, so much of that movie. And let me lay this out to you. The entire progression of that movie, like the main plot driver of that movie, was the absolute garbage design of the bombers.
Oh, you mean the bombers that are literally like are going so slow? They're going so terribly slow. Like, I'm pretty sure I could shit faster than those things.
You absolutely can.
And like still hit my target 95% of the time.
Unlike the Star Wars bombers that have to... So... They are so bad that they had every advantage that they could possibly get. They had all of the point defenses destroyed. The fighters weren't deployed yet. And they show up. And they still all died. And that is the main plot driver for the entire movie. That's it.
Oh, because the rebellion or whatever they are, the resistance is slowly dying, and yada yada, boring shit. Fuck you.
What's the guy's name?
Poe Dameron?
Poe Dameron. So Poe Dameron gets in trouble with all the higher-ups because he didn't leave. He chose to destroy a dreadnought, which was definitely the right choice. He gets in trouble.
Demoted.
The big, like... commander of the fleet that's left over doesn't do anything.
So far as not just that, but like deliberately choosing not to let him in on the plan, and then he forms a coup that totally could have been avoided if she just told him the fucking plan.
Exactly.
Like,
and even that plan got fucked up because Poe started a coup and he sent people to go get help. And the person they fucked that up too.
no, I hear you.
There's the maybe the resistance wasn't such a great idea.
And then Luke dies because he's a heroin addict.
Yes, he faded into nothing. And that was Luke is the worst death in all of Star Wars.
I know, like I'm supposed to feel something during the death of Luke Skywalker, and I'm just like, we're gonna see him in the next movie.
Yeah, he's gonna be there one way or another.
You know, I think I cried harder when Han Solo died.
Absolutely, that was a pretty good one. Where it's like, oh,
and I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
We all
saw
knew
that one a mile away.
Yeah,
There's
I also had it spoiled for me, but you know.
But yeah. So now that we've covered the worst death in all of Star Wars, I had a topic. What is the best death in all of Star Wars?
Best.
And I have to look something up because I forget his name.
I have to think about this one because I'm not sure. I mean, there's so many cool deaths, but it's like, do you want to go for cool or do you want to go for like meaningful or like random? Like Jango Fett's was pretty cool.
Falls in a Sarlo?
No, that's Boba Fett, and he didn't die technically.
Yeah.
Jango Fett gets
his head
chopped off by Mace Windu.
But then he comes back as a clone. It's
Mace
like a
Windu,
lot of clones.
I think the answer's, I know, Mace Windu probably, I don't know, he died like a bitch, kind of.
So I have to wonder. So Mace Windu cuts his head off. He knows, Obi-Wan knows that all of the clones are based on him.
Don't think about it too hard.
Who would have connected the dots on that?
Don't.
And your entire clone army looks like him.
Too much.
Maybe that, I don't know.
I'll tell you what it was. It was people on the prequels were like, yes, George Lucas, right away, Mr. Lucas. Absolutely, Mr. Lucas.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it makes sense in the end, but it's one of those, like, honestly, it's probably one of those good, like, oh, hey, this is probably not what you think it is. But all of the good guys, they're not thinking and they're just kind of going along with it. So
I have my answer, by the way. You first, though.
I also have my answer, and that is Orson Krennic.
From Rogue One?
From Rogue One.
Yes.
Who gets... They're fighting up on the tower, and then he gets smacked with his own Death Star.
Yep.
I think that is absolutely, like... perfect irony.
Yeah, something that he helped build, and then he gets his shit. Basically his boss is like, mine now, and then he gets killed with the very thing he was trying to talk about. Poetic, and also gets smacked with a space station. Like,
that's just, I mean, it's awesome.
I haven't seen Rogue One in a minute. I've been meaning to rewatch it though, but if I recall, it's dope.
Yes, it is absolutely dope.
Mine comes from the Star Wars Rebels TV show.
Okay.
And it's the actual death of Darth Maul, because it's so simple. And have you seen it?
I've seen a lot of Rebels, but I don't think I've seen
I don't know if I want to spoil it, but
just do it.
Okay. So basically, like, Maul was looking for Obi-Wan, and he's like slowly going insane. Like, that's all he can think about is, in his old age, is like conquering and finally defeating his old foe. And he finally finds him, and it's this brief, like, it's 2 minutes. It's not even 2 minutes. It's like a minute and 47 seconds. and he just like he goes in there and he gets into the position that he takes in the Phantom Menace when he's fighting Qui-Gon, and then Obi-Wan gets into his ready position, and then he's like, oh, wait a minute, that's when I was in the war and I'm not him anymore. Mistakes were made back then. So he gets into the fighting position and then he's like, wait a minute. So he takes Qui-Gon's position and then Maul's like, oh, I'm going to use the same trick that I did on your master. So he goes to do it and Obi-Wan just slices him down the middle and then Maul just falls in his things like, oh, you're not what I thought you were. You're not here to die. You're not a filthy desert rat. You're here for a reason. And then they talk about Luke, and then Maul dies in Obi-Wan's arms, and it's like really poetic.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Lucas.
So, as you guys know, I'm not the biggest Star Wars guy. I've seen the main trilogies and Rogue One. So, and to save time, I'll just agree with you because I remember really liking that.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree with someone.
I agree with you.
I'm going to take the bitch one out. But, I feel bad because I feel like I was too late to the Star Wars thing. Like I said, I've seen like the main 3 trilogies and Rogue One, and
I don't think there's a bad time to get into Star Wars because it's so generational. Like, I got into it because my dad was into it when he was a kid. He showed me his favorite movie when I was 5. He's like, here, I want to show you these. And like, we watched the entire original trilogy and I was like, oh my God, I'm in love.
See, and it's like, and like, I knew I was going to be the odd one out in this, but it's just like, I remember I think I watched like the first time in my adult life, I watched the original trilogy. I think it was like 2 years ago. And all 3 of them, like, they're good. I respect them. I appreciate them. I just don't love it.
Honestly, it's one of those things that either you get really into it or you just kind of don't. Because to me, it's less about... There it is.
Thanks
there it is.
For a minute there, I was like, do I do it or do I just eat it?
just do it. To me, it's less about like, Luke, Leia, and Han and all of their space hijinks. And it's more about the world around them. That, to me, is the way more interesting part.
No, I definitely see that. And it was... I remember watching them. It was like, I was also more interested in that. Granted, like... the stuff between the 3 of them, it was also fun to watch, but
that's where the magic happens.
Yeah. It's also, to me, it was kind of like the first exposure to sci-fi, and I go, wow, that's spaceships. Oh man, that's awesome.
You can do that stuff in space, and there's a giant dog, and he's a cowboy.
Whoa. See, whenever you're a kid and then that's your first like real exposure to like sci-fi, like it's really no like wonder why so many people love it.
But they have swords made out of lasers.
Laser swords.
Like, I just feel like that's a thing I got to too late in my life.
That's fair.
Like,
I mean, that's fair. There's a few people who are like just like anti-Star Wars in my life.
Like, I wouldn't even say like I'm anti-Star Wars. It's just like, and like, again, like I feel kind of negative because like I'm the odd one out, and like I had family and friends who were like really into these things whenever I was a kid.
Yeah, your brother.
Yeah,
loves Star Wars.
Yeah, but it's just I watch the movies. I appreciate most of them. And that's kind
most of them.
Yeah, most of them. No, I mean, even I will say.
It's like 4 out of 7.
No, yeah. But like.
I would give it a solid. Yeah, no, that's probably.
I mean, it's honestly.
That is probably right if I
I'd give it 5.
5.
If the main trilogy, I'd give it 5. And then if you add like. I mean, I guess if you add the anthology, it's 6 because Rogue One is fantastic.
Rogue One is good.
Best Disney movie.
Along with episode 3 and the main trilogy. And that's about it.
Force Awakens I stand by Force Awakens. I think it's a good film. I wouldn't say Okay, let me rephrase that. It's not a good film. It's a good movie. It's an okay Star Wars film. And it took me back to when I was a kid. And I know there's a lot of like, it's just a New Hope over again. Yeah. What's your point? There's a lot of stories that get retold over the years. Like, look at fucking Avatar. It's just Gone with the Wind or whatever. Dances with Wolves or whatever that movie is. And like, I don't care. It's just fucking good.
Yeah.
It's good. I can quote
It's good.
It's good. It's good.
Just kind of take it as its own thing.
To me,
Yeah, just don't watch past it.
Yeah.
yeah. To me, it kind of strikes me as like you have episode 4, you have episode 1, which is
The last 5 minutes is really good.
it's the last 5 minutes.
Of episode 1,
Yeah.
Duel of Fate.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was not thinking of
It's
that.
probably more than 5 minutes. Probably more like 15 minutes. But like,
yeah.
just Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon versus Maul was fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And all right, we'll get back to that. But to me, episode 1 it's a much different recreation of episode 4, but it's definitely there because you have the control ships up in orbit, the Lucre Hulks. They're big Death Star looking things with a ring around it, and they have to go and they have to blow it up so that they can save the day. Kind of fits in with that. And all of a sudden, Anakin can fly a spaceship. Kind of fits in.
Well,
I would say
he could pod race, man.
I know. I would say that episode 1 is a much more creative rehash than episode 7.
I wouldn't even call it a rehash. I see what you're saying.
I would say that there are elements. That's kind of what I mean, though, is there are elements that are the same, but the majority of it is pretty different. Versus episode 7 is, okay, there's this kid out in the middle of nowhere. They don't know what they want to do with their life. Now they get Jedi powers. Now they go to start.
I mean, all 3 of those movies have the kid in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of my point. That's another thing. Anakin was out in the middle of nowhere.
So was Luke.
So was Luke. So was Rey.
Hey, man, desert planets real important in the galaxy far, far away.
And in episode 4 and episode 1, it's the same damn planet.
The same damn planet that we go to in, I think, like 6 of the 9 main movies.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to stop going to Tatooine.
Yeah, no,
quit it.
It's great. It's great.
Mos Eisley can suck an Eisley.
And we're still going to it.
Oh.
Like, we were just there at The Mandalorian not too long ago.
The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett. Can we get off of goddamn Tatooine?
No.
Please?
No.
Please, Dad.
I'll turn this car around. Good, that's what I want.
Okay, so as a slight change of topic, I have an interesting story. So, a couple of weeks ago, my brother's girlfriend texted me, and she's like, hey, do you want a new graphics card? It's a 3060. It'll just be your early birthday present. Don't worry. He's looking at the box, and yeah, that's part of the story.
Okay.
All right. So, a week goes by. She's like, "Hey, it'll be there on Friday," and it gets here on Saturday. Which, do you guys remember what day Saturday is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
April 1st.
Yeah.
Oh.
What were you thinking of?
The fucking storm that rocked our whole...
Oh, well,
I mean,
my power is out for like 20 minutes.
Hey, man, ours went out for 11 hours, but,
Yeah. So, it's April 1st, and I get the package, and the first thing that was like, wait a second, was she said that it would be a 3060, And I pull out the box, and it says 3080 Ti, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's a big difference between a 3060 and a 3080 Ti. So I was just kind of like, whoa. You said you were giving me a 3060. So I'm like, okay, all right, this is amazing. Best day of my life. I pull out the box, and it's like a little bit light, but I was like, all right, there's something. I mean, I'm sure it's just a light card. Only to open up the rest of the box, completely empty. Completely empty. And I'm looking at it, and it's April 1st, and I'm just like, I don't think that she would do this. So, like, maybe they ordered it, and whoever sent it, like, whatever company sent it to me,
ripped you off.
Ripped her off. And I'm just like, what? That's awful. But it was still April 1st. And I looked at the shipping, and it made sense that, like, they would have shipped it. And I was like, there is no way that this was, like, an April Fool's joke. So I sent her a message that was like, it had a picture of the empty box. And I was like, April Fools? And she's like, oh my God. I totally didn't mean to. We totally switched out the boxes and just didn't even pay attention. And yeah, so she didn't even do it on purpose.
Oh my God.
It just so happened that they accidentally sent an empty box. It just so happened to arrive on April 1st.
That's so
fucking way. That could not have fallen more like into play.
Joke's on them because they had to spend this money for shipping.
It's from San Francisco, so that's probably a decent chunk. And that sucks for them and
everyone involved.
Yeah. And I appreciate them trying to send me a graphics card. I just think it's hilarious that, like, just the timing of it, and just now I have this story. Yes, so
like, that's just so fucking funny. But like, if I were you, I'd be pissed. Like,
I'm not pissed off about it because when I got it, I thought it was like, oh, they ordered it and like the company sent the wrong graphics card and they just sent an empty box. So I was incredibly relieved to know that it was just like, oh, they accidentally sent the wrong box because they had a 3080 Ti and I think it's a 3060 Ti and it looks close enough and they didn't really pay attention and just threw it in the box. So I was really relieved about that.
Yeah.
They're sending me a free graphics card, so I'm not.
So it's all resolved.
I mean,
like,
you can't really complain, right?
Yeah.
That it's just like,
yeah.
I mean, a little bit. They didn't do it on purpose.
The universe said, fuck you.
Pretty much.
So, Lucas.
So, how's it going?
It's pretty good.
Anyways, how's your sex life?
Non-existent.
Oh, wait, that's yours.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Oh, hi, Mark.
That is. Oh, hi, Mark.
So, anyways, how's your sex life? Have either of you guys seen The Room?
I have not
I
yet.
have.
I've seen
That's
The
what I
Disaster
was-
Artist,
Oh,
not the
man.
movie.
The Room is
It's a classic.
It is so horrible. It is literally the worst movie I've ever seen.
I don't
It's
know.
so
We've
good.
all seen Star Wars
so good.
Rise of Skywalker.
That's true. That's a good point, Brandon.
I know it's a good...
So, all right. So my story of going to see The Rise of Skywalker, I didn't have anybody to go see it with or anything. And I was just kind of like I already knew going into it because I was watching a bunch of videos online of people talking about like what it would be. And I knew going in it was going to be so bad. But I had to see it in the theater.
I mean, it's one of those things, like, my thing is, like, when a new Star Wars film comes out, I avoid all contact with the internet. And I wait for my dad. He's an over-the-road truck driver, so he's not available at all times. When he gets home, the next night we go and see it. And I remember watching it and I was almost in denial. I was like, that movie was great. And my buddy happened to be sitting in the same theater as us, not playing or anything with his brother. And we talked afterwards. We're like, that was really good. And then a week passes and I go see it with another friend. And halfway through the movie, I fall asleep and I wake up and I was like, ah, shit, that's a bad movie.
This is The Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah.
You thought it was good the first time.
I was in denial.
Yeah. Okay.
I was in denial.
I knew going in that it was going to be awful.
I was like, that is a good movie, right? Right?
No.
So, like, as kind of, like, I've seen that too, and, like, of course I don't like it, but, like, as more or less of an outsider, like, there was, like, a little bit after it came out where it's, like, I would, like, see opinions and hear opinions, and it was more or less split. Like, a lot of people, like, they, like, were saying that they liked it and stuff, but then as time went on, of course, now it has the reputation as it has now.
For The Rise of Skywalker or the,
No, yeah, Rise of Skywalker.
what was the middle one?
Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
How did this turn into a Star Wars podcast?
I don't know. That's why I tried to change the subject.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we did, and then we brought it right back.
Yeah. Now, to switch genres, Morbius is the true Batman.
I've still not seen Morbius.
Don't watch it.
It's on Netflix still, if I recall.
Watch
I don't know.
And I do have some substantial time on my hands. I could watch it.
It's a perfect time to watch it.
If you watch it, watch the first, on the dot, 30 minutes.
I might watch it tomorrow. Maybe not. I don't know.
Watch
Playing
the
Star Wars.
first 30 minutes and then just like text me and tell me what happens. Like, make your educated guess, and I can almost guarantee you'll have it on the dot.
I might just do that now.
And I'm not even joking.
Fantastic.
I'm not even joking. The 30-minute mark exactly. That's it. You know everything that you need to know for the rest of the film. And it's like another 45 minutes longer.
And it's one of those movies where it's like, the first while it's like, oh, it's funny, but then it just truly turns just miserable.
Oh, yeah. The first 30 minutes had the movie just like found a way to stop in the next 10 minutes. I don't think it, I mean,
no, yeah.
It's hard to call it a movie, but it could have done that. It absolutely could have.
It's doing one of my biggest gripes in ever is they're making a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man, and it pisses me off. That's why I haven't watched it.
What?
Morbius is a Spider-Man villain.
Oh.
And it's... as we all know, I'm a big Spider boy, big Spooder dude fan, and just when I saw that, I was like, I think I vomited in my mouth. I was like, I swallowed it.
I think you felt the same way about Venom.
I mean, Venom's broken himself out as a character enough to where that one didn't bug me as much. I wish it was still connected to Spider-Man in some way, but hey, what are you going to do?
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
People want to make money in Hollywood.
Yeah.
They're just doing a piss poor job of it.
I didn't know what it was going into it. I didn't know who Morbius is, who he was, what he became. I just knew that it was like... It was a very hotly debated movie, and then it was just, no, it's a bad one.
That's surprising with how much Colin and Adam and Jared have talked about it.
Don't they hate it too?
Oh, yeah, they do, but like, that you didn't know it was like Spider-Man related.
Oh, no, I had no idea. I really didn't.
Most people don't, and that's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, but where in that movie could Spider-Man show up?
I mean, there really isn't.
Yeah, you can't, but...
I mean, I see where, like, you're coming from.
Yeah.
But also, at the same time, like, if you were to try to fit him in, it would have been somehow, like, even more of a mess.
Yeah.
Like...
Honestly, I liked the first, like, 20 minutes of it. I think it brought in, like, some decent... It's still going. Don't worry. We're good.
I was just looking at it.
Oh.
It just looks
It's
pretty.
got some pretty lines going across it.
Yeah.
We're talking about...
It looks like a lava.
Adobe is... Yeah. It's neat. So... Where was I?
Morbius is shit.
Yeah.
Morbius is garbage.
I love the part where he says it's Morbin time.
Oh, man. Oh, okay. So I have 2 requirements. One, you need to watch 30 minutes of it and text me what happens. And then you have to watch until you get to the sex scene.
There's a sex.
No.
No, that's the thing. Oh my god.
No.
Like, they just don't have sex?
Nope. I don't know. They probably do, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You'll know it when you get to it.
I can't wait for
No, it's so
I'll
bad.
report back
okay,
the
so
next
now-
time we record.
Yep.
I see. So now you're required to watch it.
Yeah,
because you're on the fence before,
required.
but now
it's required viewing.
by next time we record, you have to watch it.
Man, it is. Oh God, it's awful.
See, now I'm tempted to rewatch it, but I
It's on
don't
Netflix.
think I'm going. No, yeah,
Just watch the first 30 minutes and you'll be happy.
Or at least until the
I won't be
non-sex
happy.
scene.
So I wouldn't say that this is entirely a spoiler. It happens within the first 5 minutes of the movie. The thing that confuses me the most is the dramatic character shift.
Yeah,
So in the first opening scene of the movie, it's Dr. Morbius acquiring the bats that he studies, and he's acquiring them to help humanity, to help cure his disease. But basically, he screws over the people that brought him to get the bats for some reason, which makes no sense because the next thing that he's talking about is being a doctor who helps everybody and is he's acting as the best good guy possible. And it just doesn't make any sense. I thought that would tie back into the movie somehow, but
it just never did.
it just doesn't. And it's one of the most confusing things. It almost seems like a flash forward into the future instead of something that happened 5 years before the movie starts. It's so confusing to me.
Because I remember watching that, it's just well, yeah, but they're going to explain this later.
Right.
And
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and then they just don't.
Yeah. And they don't, and it makes no sense.
That movie is such a mess.
I'm telling you, all you have to watch is the first 30 minutes until you get to the sex scene.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll make up. I'll make up. I'll wake
You'll
up and
make
eat
up.
my morning bagel and watch it with my dog.
There you go. And your dog's going to be upset.
Yeah.
Sounds
Poor-
like a
poor
great Wednesday morning.
Yeah, that's normally how I start my Wednesday mornings is with trash entertainment.
You know how I start my Wednesday mornings?
By crying after you jerk off.
No, that's how I go to sleep.
Oh, so you're a nighttime guy.
Well, yeah. I'm pathetic, I know.
So anyways, another topic that I have is Lucas can't drive.
Oh, come on.
I'm not even joking. I wrote that. That was the
You
first.
wrote that?
That was the first thing that I wrote down. Was Lucas can't drive,
Wow.
and then I put that Morbius thing in today.
Well, yeah, I drove him here.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, is that all we have to say about that topic? Yes, I don't drive.
That I wasn't even going to go into it. I was just going to say it and leave it.
Kick me while I'm down. Okay. Oh.
Okay, so let's do another shift. Possibly the last thing that we talk about. What is your favorite game release this year? Or not maybe not even necessarily favorite, but the most interesting.
Well, so for me, this is technically it hasn't come out yet, and this is it's hard because this is a very biased opinion on my part, and it's Spider-Man 2. It has not released yet, and it's my most anticipated game of the year, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. I'm Like, I'm creaming myself just sitting here thinking about playing it and the possibilities of playing it. And I want my hands on it now.
That is, get your webby hands on it.
I want my spider fingies.
I thought it already came out.
No, it's rumored to come out in September. We'll see if it actually does. But
you're probably thinking about Miles Morales.
I am, yeah.
I need to get my hands on a PS5 first. And,
I'm very confident that you'll be able to get a PS5 by then.
Oh, it's not the fact that the getting it is the me being able to afford it. See, the thing is when I put a ring on someone's finger recently who was very near and dear to me, and she was like, and this is not why I did it, but it was also more of a, haha, fuck you, now you have to do it. She's like, if you give me a ring, I'll get you a PS5. And I'm just walking around the house going, where's that PS5
at? But yeah, I would.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I would say that's gotta be up there for me for my most anticipated. It's definitely either that or Breath of the Wild 2. Or no, what's it called?
Forgot all about Breath of the Wild 2.
What's the official title of it?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. It's just Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games of all time, and I just honestly really need another reason to use my Switch.
I hear you there. I'm currently replaying Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it just sucks because, I do like the Switch as a console. I just don't use it. But with this coming out, I'll finally use it. And
it's not like there's not games on the Switch.
No, there's
good games on it, but...
It's just
I hear you.
For games that are, on, every platform, or, at least most, I'd rather just play on the Xbox and get a much better, graphics.
That's the same. I prefer my PlayStation.
PC Master Race.
Yeah, I forgot, Mr. Smelly Pants.
So anyways, we'll get into that. My favorite game that has come out this year, and it kind of had a Steam release, is Dwarf Fortress.
I think I've heard of that.
I can guarantee that you've probably heard of it, because...
Was that this year?
It came out as a Steam release this year. However, it's a pretty old game. I think it's 20 years old now. However, back up until now, it's basically been a lot of things were graphically, they were just text. So it was, you're playing the game and your characters are moving around, but they're basically just symbols moving around the screen. And it finally came out this year as an actual graphical video game that looks a lot better than it originally did.
I think it was at the DICE Awards recently.
I would believe it. It's actually inspired a lot of modern video games. Minecraft was massively inspired by it. Minecraft, it kind of used the you dig out blocks and you dig down to get the valuable stuff. That's kind of where it got its that part of it. But other than that, it's been a completely separate game. And it's an interesting one. It's something that is just single player, and I can see that not a lot of people would have enjoyment out of it, but it's a neat little game.
I was just watching a video on it.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. Yeah. I can definitely see how Minecraft got the inspiration.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a game, not a game that I already expressed, the game I was most looking forward to, but a game that came out this year that I would say, oh, that's the best game so far. I don't really think there's been a lot of, there's Hogwarts Legacy. That was fun for a little bit.
I haven't got my hands on it yet.
Yeah.
I meant to, and then just other things got in the way. I've been so stuck on replaying previous games that I haven't I've not touched. I don't think I've touched a single new release this year.
I'm currently playing the Resident Evil 4 remake, and that's been really fun.
I've heard great things about it.
Yeah. Still prefer 2, but I do love 4.
4 freaked me out.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't like horror games or horror movies or horror anything, so
Resident Evil 2 remake is fantastic.
yeah, that's probably like
The best.
Resident Evil 2 is my favorite one, and then I think the remake just perfected it.
Yes, I agree with that.
3 was good. It was just a
I
little
didn't like 3.
definitely not on the same level as 2 and 4, but it's good.
what was the most recent one that came out?
Are we talking main entry and series?
Pig Bitties.
Oh,
Village
7, 8.
Village 8, yeah.
8.
Sure. I watched a little bit of that and Tig Bitties.
I like how we like instantly like knew.
Yeah,
what we were talking
exactly.
about.
Demetrius?
Yeah,
Damascus?
Big Mommy, yeah.
Yeah, with the big mommy milkers. Yeah.
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 Rhea Ripley? What?
No, that's funny. We were talking about whenever we were recording this the first time, like just like wrestling for like a little bit, and me just like watching WrestleMania kind of out of context, and like I called her like, "Oh, mommy." I didn't know that she like went by that. Yeah,
she goes
no,
by
like
mommy.
I thought that was funny because like my friend's like, "That's actually what she goes by." It's just like, oh, okay.
Anyways. Big mommy milkers. Yeah, I watched a.
Big mommy.
Everyone
can get behind his big mommy milkers.
Absolutely.
The third
Yes.
Esquire.
I've watched a little bit of that, and I can only watch something like that. I cannot play something like that.
It is fair. I was the same way until I exposed myself to playing more.
Who'd you expose yourself to?
Anyways. I exposed myself to playing like more horror games, and you do get used to it, and like you get less sensitive to it. I was the same way about like horror movies, and like I used to be like, oh, not comfortable with them at all, but then like I would just like kind of test myself. So you do get less sensitive to it, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I can only watch horror games or anything like that. I have watched a lot of like Phasmophobia video
I've
games.
been meaning to play that.
I don't know what that is.
It's basically like a.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's basically like a ghost hunter game
Okay.
where you have a haunted house or school or something, and you go in and you're trying to figure out what kind of ghost it is, along with some other objectives. Some other objectives along the way.
Why
And
not just call the Ghostbusters?
because you are the Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Lame.
Kind of. It's just
You
an
know who I
interesting.
am? I'm a goddamn Ghostbuster.
There you go. It's an interesting game that like I don't know. The thing that freaks me out the most is the spirit box, because it's a little radio that's searching through frequencies, and you use your microphone to talk to the ghost, and then it answers through the box. And
I wouldn't like that.
No, that's the worst thing.
Damn.
But
I was gonna say that'd be a really fun game to play, like the three of us.
think
I
I
think
would
that would be
Piss myself.
that would be hilarious. I think we should do that.
Like, and then like again, like if you were to ever try to like get yourself more used to like horror games, like
See,
a multiplayer game is a good way to do it.
Yeah,
I've
that's fair.
slowly gotten myself used to horror games. Like, wow.
That probably sounds great.
Oh, absolutely. At least it wasn't like
I forgot
against
what
the
I was going to
microphone.
say.
You were slowly getting yourself more into horror games.
Yeah, I think the first horror game like I really sat down and played was like Dead Space, the first one. And I kid you not, I literally pissed myself. I was so scared. So, haven't played much since because of the pissing of myself. But
That'll do it.
like, I don't consider the Resident Evil series scary horror games because they're like, it's zombies. Like, it's not really.
Yeah.
The thing that scared me the most about it was I was used to like shooter games where you go in, you have tons of ammo, and you just shoot stuff. And
oh yeah, it's definitely more survival.
right, and I run in and I try and shoot stuff, and I run out of ammo, and I'm like, oh no, what do I do now?
Yeah, especially in like Resident Evil games, like the zombies or like whichever like you're like fighting, they're bullet sponges.
Yeah,
They take so many bullets before they die.
Even if you try to shoot them in the head.
Yeah.
right.
And then half the time they'll fall down, they'll get right back up.
Yeah,
Like, I do like those games a lot. The combat is very frustrating at times.
Super.
that's what kind of freaked me out the most was I would run in and try and like I think I made it into the first like actual combat
Yeah. Like,
I don't know, frame or whatever you want to call it. And I
Yes.
run in and I started trying to kill all the zombies and I couldn't. And then I'm like, I don't have ammo. What do I do? And then I just died. And then I kept dying.
it's, yeah, like, and it sucks because I love everything else about those games, but it's just stuff like that kind of, I can see why people would be frustrated with it.
Yeah.
Is that your foot?
That's my foot. Well, that's not my foot.
Can I join? No, that was your foot because that was not.
That was not my foot because my feet are under me. So playing footsie under the table?
Playing footsie with a ghost, apparently.
I mean, maybe.
Poltergeist.
No, just one.
Oh? Is that it?
Yeah, I think
we're
this
done.
was.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
I would say we did pretty good.
We did a podcast.
It was the first episode, so of course it's going to be a
Bear
little
with
iffy,
us.
But
Please listen. Or don't. I don't care. Don't tell me what to
Please.
do.
you can if you
I'll
want.
buy you a box of Girl Scout cookies.
One box of Girl Scout cookies for everybody who makes it this far.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
That's not a promise. That's
I'm promising.
That's a threat.
Lucas is going
Yeah.
to buy you a box of Boy Scout cookies.
Boy Scout.
Boy Scout cookies.
What's your favorite Boy Scout cookie flavor?
Thought we were ending. You know what? That's a good question to end on.
Oh, that's a question for next time. I'm
That
gonna
is,
go hit
yeah.
the button so that we don't keep going.